Alright, so today we are going to be exploring Obito. Now, I just did the showcase. Today we're going to be exploring Obito and why he might be one of the best Vanguard familiars in the game. And apart from that, we're also going to be taking a look at some themes you could use him with, some use cases for Obito, and basically exploring this character as a whole. Without further ado, let's get started. Now, you guys already know that our goal is to get to 100k subscribers eventually. This is an impossible goal without your support. So realistically, the only way we're gonna be able to get there is by you supporting us by hitting that like and subscribe button. So if you want us to reach our goal of 100k subscribers, then please don't forget to like and subscribe. And without further ado, let's get this video started. I think even without Monarch, he would still be good, but I am not testing that because I got Monarch on him in 16 rerolls. I'm totally not flexing, by the way. Yeah, I think Monarch would be the best trait on him. It is the best trait. Monarch is the best trait for literally every unit in the game, though. So, yeah. Monarch would be the best trait on him. Now, we are going to be taking a look at his Vanguard Familiar's passives. The Familiar's passives, I think you guys already are aware of this, but for those that are not, I will be sharing it. So selling this unit gives you no money back, but instead the next Obito Awakened place is free and retains the upgrade of the previous. There is a cooldown for this right here, by the way, of 10 seconds, I believe. But for this one right here, there is no cooldown. And I'm going to be sharing with you guys why that is kind of important later on. This right here, why that's kind of important. And then gain 650% damage and 20% range. And going to be ascending him, we're going to be ascending him. And the reason for this is because ascending this unit is actually incredibly good, as it will give him a lot more damage, right? Apparently, it will take him from 470,000 to around 500,000 damage. So that's exactly what we're gonna do right now. Alright, and the reason 500,000 damage on Obito, which obviously you want. So, alright, let's keep going. We're just gonna ascend him. So for my previous test, his damage was about 470,000. With the ascension, it should be around 500,000. But we're going to be, I'm going to be showing you his damage without the ascension. But just know that his damage with ascension should be around 500,000. I'm not max ascension right now. This is the perfect opportunity for you to see what his damage is going to be with max ascension and without max ascension. Now we're going to head on to Sandbox to test him out. Alright, so first we're going to take a look at this damage right here. On placement, this unit will have 87,000 damage. This is Z plus stats, not godly. And on max, it should be around 485,000. You should know that the max ascension of this will be around 516,000. And here's an image of that. Credit, by the way, to Fur, who provided this image, but this is 515,000 or 16,000 max ascended. I don't know if his is godly, but this is max ascension. It provides a decent damage buff. Alright, so now that we are done with the beginning and the most important parts of this unit, now that we're done with that, we are now going to move on straight into his use cases, right? And how you can actually make use of his passives. Alright, we're gonna start off by first saying that essentially his ability will act like teleportation. That's essentially how his ability will act like, right? So let's say, for example, I'm going to spawn in a bunch of enemies that will have speed multiplier of 5, health multiplier of 10, and I'm gonna be doing that red ants, and there's gonna be 100 of them, and you guys will be able to see what I'm talking about here. So let us assume that's alien soldier, or sorry, Obito is right here. Okay, he wiped them out. Sorry for that. Alright, this is just for purely testing purposes. I spawned in red ants with 20 times their original HP. And the purpose of this is to show you exactly where you can use his ability and why it might be useful. Where it can be useful is in stages or in situations wherein you have leaks. Like, for example, because he is 2,000 to place, you might not be able to place him immediately at the start of the match. Or let's say, for example, you're doing something else, you're farming challenges, you come back and you see that there's already enemies that have leaked. You can sell him and then just replace him here completely for free and keeping his max upgrade while also dealing burn damage to every enemy in his range. Now, obviously, these guys had insane speed. They will never be that fast, so that was just for demonstration purposes. But yeah, that's essentially one of the use cases for Obito. And now, let's say because you chased those leakers, you're now all the way at the back of the map. How do you go back there, because this is very inefficient. You want to be able to go back to the front so that you can clear the stage as fast as possible. You just sell him, and then you just place him here at the front again. And now, there you go, Obito is clearing the stage again. Now, this is very useful because most of us who plays anime Vanguards, we're not always glued to the screen. Sometimes we're doing something else, and then by the time we come back, there are already enemies that have leaked past the front and are all the way in the middle. And that is very, very annoying if you don't have a unit that can chase them. So Kaguya can chase enemies very easily because that's one of her abilities. Gogeta can do that as well. But Obito, in my opinion, is the best because Obito is just a lot more convenient to use. Or Kaguya is also not available anymore. So Obito being able to teleport is really, really good. Also, keep in mind that you can also use this unit in situations where you had to attack multiple areas, or where you have enemies that are teleporting or could be in different places. For example, Mahito. Mahito could be an issue, right? The God statue, where you have to attack the statues, right? You have to break 4 statues so you can attack the God statue. The recent dungeon that we've got for Gogeta, you can also use Obito there. Because Golden Frieza, you have to kill him 7 times and he spawns in different places. So Obito can be useful in that scenario, in those scenarios. You can also, he's just overall useful. Now, his damage is 100,000 with 485,000 base damage. His DPS is 100,000. But this is not the full picture because he also has his burn, which is 30% of his damage. So if you have 500,000 at max ascension, that's 30% of 485,000. It's gonna be more or less around 100,000 to 200,000 burn damage, which essentially makes him have really, really, really great burn capabilities, or really, really great overall DPS. It's the DPS that you're seeing right now with Obito is more than enough to be to contend with most of the stages of the game. Not to mention the fact that he can teleport, and not to mention the fact that he only costs 88,000 to max out. 88,000 to max out, which is very, very nice. I'm gonna reset the match right here so you can see just how much he costs. So 2,000 to place, and then 88,500 to max out. He is right now currently the cheapest Vanguard familiar, and also the Vanguard familiar with my opinion the most useful gimmick. That's why in the beginning of this video I said we will be exploring why he might be the best Vanguard familiar. It's because he has one of the most interesting gimmicks in my opinion. The ability to teleport is incredibly useful for most people who are playing the game, and the fact he is also very cheap is extremely nice. Alright, so now that we're done with his damage, now that we're done with all those other stuff, we're gonna take a look at what he can actually do. Some things that I figured out or found out with his passive that you guys might be interested in. Okay, so for his first thing that I discovered, I think a lot of you guys might have already found out about this. He is able to sell himself and place himself for free. But there's a cooldown to the place himself for free part, right? So the first passive of the familiar, this one right here, has a cooldown of about 10 seconds. So if I sell him right now and place him, he will have his max upgrade, as you guys can see. But if I sell him and place him again, he will not have his max upgrade. And this is because he has a cooldown. Free placement is on cooldown, as you guys can see right there. But the good thing about this is once that cooldown is over, all you have to do is sell him and then replace him again, and he should be max level again. So watch this, right? Spam, place, 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 and again, he is at max upgrade. So I think the cooldown is about 10 seconds for that free placement, and every time you sell him and place him outside of that cooldown, you lose yen. So right here, I'm losing 2,000 yen per time that I spam place him. But again, you do not need to be upgrading him because once that cooldown is over, all you have to do is just sell him and then place him again. So that's something that you guys should consider, because essentially what you could do with this is you could have enemies that have a lot of that have HP, for example, or like let's say you need to attack multiple areas at once, or you need to be in multiple areas at once. You could actually do this. You could actually spam him. Obviously, it would not be as efficient, but this is just a cool thing that I figured out or found out you could do as well. Let's just spawn in a bunch of Itachis right here. Look at this. Look at what we're gonna do right here. So guys, that's a bit crazy. So we're just gonna do a speed multiplier of 1, mount 3, and a multiplier of 50. Spawn in a bunch of Itachis. Right, spam place. You guys can see right here. The spam placement is working. Now he's not dealing as much burn damage, and this is because 30% of 87,000 is not really very high. But this, by the way, applies to every enemy in range. So yeah, this is just something pretty cool. But you have to consider this because you can't just spam him like that. He won't be free, right? It won't be free. But this is still pretty useful. You can still use this because essentially it means if you just want to quickly reposition Obito, you can do that. Let's say I want to quickly reposition him here, right? Just want to quickly reposition him there. And you know, he's upgrade 0. Do not panic because all you have to do is wait, and then you can just sell him and place him again, and he should be having that burn or max upgrade again. So that's pretty nice. That's pretty cool. As for teams you could use with him, with this character, there's a bunch of characters you could use with him. Griffith is pretty good because Griffith will again have this passive where he sells your units, right? So if Griffith sells your units, it's going to be very hard because you can't have you can't upgrade your units first. So the problem with Griffith is it's very inconvenient to use this because units are going to get sold. With Obito, that doesn't matter because even if he gets sold by these enemies right here, it does not matter because he will just come back again. So hopefully this Eclipse Demon can get to him. Hopefully we can demonstrate that here. All right, so here we go. He's gonna get sold, place him down again. It doesn't matter. We're fine. We're completely fine. So essentially, you could use him with Griffith to just rush Griffith's sacrifice. I sacrifice. You could do that if you want to. Place him again. Completely fine. There you go. That's really, really useful for Griffith because it makes it so that it requires less of a risk using that I sacrifice. Gets sold again. Easy. You get sold. All right, easy. Just do that again, right? Extremely easy. There's also Hibana. You could use him with Hibana to replace the burn, or replace the burn of Hibana, or replace his burn. Sorry, you could use him with Hibana to just spam his burn. And then obviously you could also use him with Tengen, all these other units. So yeah, you can use him with a lot of characters. You know, Tengen, Hibana, Griffith. All these characters would be good with him. You could use him also in any team. Again, you could use him with, you know, Vanguard team. If you want to put him in a Vanguard team, you could, you know, use him to replace Gogeta because he is a better version of Gogeta. He's cheaper than Gogeta, does more DPS than Gogeta, has better teleportation than Gogeta, so you can use him for that purpose. He is very useful. You know, he might not be useful in tournaments for some of tournament sweats out there, but I can see him being useful in the day-to-day, you know, life of an Anime Vanguards player. You can also use him to farm challenges because there's no challenge that he cannot clear. Gilgamesh, even if Gilgamesh sells him in that one stage, he'll be fine. God Statue, easily clear. Sukuna cannot solo God Statue. Well, he can, but not to the level that Obito can because Obito can teleport around. You know, Mahito, the Mahito stage, Sukuna will struggle with that because, you know, you have to place an enemy that will beat Mahito. Well, with Obito, you could just place him alone, and even if you don't place any farms, his damage, even, you know, at the early upgrades, is enough. And that is why, in my opinion, he is very, very useful. Alright, so his placement. Where would I place this character in terms of Vanguard familiars? I would place him below Sukuna, but I do think that there are a lot of uses for him, especially because of how convenient and how cool he is to use overall. I can see him being used. I can see myself using him more than Sukuna personally because of that teleportation ability. But overall, I think he is below Sukuna and above Tengen. That's pretty much it for Obito. And if you guys enjoyed this video, then please don't forget to like and subscribe. And without further ado, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out, everybody.